myself, I'm Daniel. I'm Daniel Donat. I'm a product owner of GeoDin, and I work with the software since 15 years, actually after my A level. And so I studied in parallel geology, worked at Fugro, but right now I'm also then working primarily on GeoDin. And right now, I think I will be joined by my two dear team members, Kimberly Northen and Iliani Faustinoni. And then we can guide you through the software.
Yes, I think Daniel, please, I am facilitating this, so I will be moderating the questions. Kimberly is still have some trouble joining here at the stage, but we can go on. So I suggest, please just start with the demo, and Kimberly will join us soon.
Perfect, let's do so. All right. And yeah, thanks for participating. I'm gonna share my screen, and then you can see like GeoDin as a live demo. So right now, I hope that you can see my screen. Here we have GeoDin as a desktop application, and we use GeoDin as a database management system. Everything started around 30 years ago. And so by two geologists who wanted to have a software where they can visualize borehole logs. So they wanted to have other codes, they wanted to visualize borehole logs and to keep everything in a database. So since 30 years, we are developing in the software. It's one of our primary tools for geotechnical database management within Germany. On the left-hand side, you see the structure where we have our databases and projects. In this area, we see our methods, and on the right-hand side, once we activate methods, you can see also the data sets. I will navigate here through a database. Right now, I have here Access database linked to the project, but of course, you can also link client-server databases. One of the big things is that using GeoDin, it's really up to you where you would like to store the data. You can either put it on your local drive, you can put it in your network, but you can also host it in the cloud. As you can see right now here, I was opening the database, and right now other methods will show up. The database itself can contain one project or several projects, which I can open right now, and a project can contain different kind of objects. And an object is a representation either of a borehole, a CPT, a trial pit, and similar. And now let's dig directly into an object. I will open right now the data management, where we can see here our general data. I activate the input form. You can see here fields like the borehole name, a project title. We can select the method, how the investigation was performed using pick lists. And here we can also navigate through additional fields like the depth and recovery, coordinates, drilling, and similar. Using the coordinates and the EPSG code, we can highlight or also show the data sets on a map. And right now, we as GeoDin provide a web service to host OpenStreetMap layers. And right now, you can see here also like in the background the OpenStreetMap. Let's go right now to the lithological description. That's I navigate here to the layer data. And here we can see our standard compliant lithological description. How does it work? We select here auto plus, we can select a standard and also a language. And right now, just for the fun, I will choose the ANI ISO standard, and then we can also have a look at the ASTM standard. So I will select the standard. I can define a layer, let's say from 0 to 10 meters. I will enter just right now here like that. And then we can define which ground type do we have. And here we have like a pick list. We can also select if it's either a fine grained soil, if it's a very coarse grained soil, or similar. And depending on the ground type which I select, also we have different kind of properties. And these properties are changing based on, as I mentioned, on the ground type. So let's go here for the fine grained soil. We can select here from a dictionary the principal soil type, let's say clay. We can select a secondary soil type, let's say it's fine sandy, and similar. You can also here enter in the codes directly, like that. And based on the selection which we have done here, also the text is generated on the fly, and also the fill patterns are changing. Also, if you want, we can also add additional text if required. And that's how we can create our borehole logs. Right now, I can create a second layer, but I guess you will understand the concept, how it works. If you right now enter here coarse grained soil, we go for sand. If you have a relative density, like very dense, too dense, and text will generate on the fly. Here we see an example of a borehole log, which is according to ASTM, where we have different layers from sand to clay, where the data is collected. Let's go to the next tab. That's a sample tab, where we can import also our soil samples using a wizard. Here we define directly which samples do we have, and so we also include a interval or from to interval. We can select the sample type and similar, and basically create all the samples which have been obtained in the field. The next area, we have the well design. So in case we want to create a well, we can define here the well design. And then we go to the next tab, which contains data sequences as CPTs. Right now navigate to a CPT object. So it's right now it's loading. And within the CPT, we can right now load ASCII files and CSV files in import data sets. Also, we have a general data import, where you can either have predefined filters or you can create your own filters, where you can also select CSV file, Excel files, ASCII files, similar to create your own data sequences. But now let's go to the measurement data. So I navigate back to the borehole. I select the tab measurement data. And here we can see like predefined data types. And the data type within the GeoDin content is a representation of a field test or a laboratory test. How does it work? I select here sample from the drop-down menu. I select an offset, so because depending on the offset where the test was performed, so right now we assume it happened at 20 centimeter depth, so I right now enter 20 centimeters. The depth gets calculated automatically. We select here our laboratory, we select a standard, and then we can also enter our parameters. Let's say we go for the plastic limit right now. Let's say we have like a plastic limit of 20%, we have a liquid limit of 50%, and using our predefined equations, also the plasticity index will be calculated on the fly. So right now I just tap here, and we see here the plasticity index. Also, if I enter right now a water content, additional parameters as a liquidity index and the consistency index are calculated. That's all happening with our predefined equations. Right now, I have only the data types installed which contain data sets, but in general, we cover over 50 classification tests, or in total 50 data types which contain classification tests, but also advanced geotechnical tests, structural tests, oedometer tests in similar. Now let's go to the visualization. Right now I click here, and we as GeoDin, we also provide predefined templates where you can link your data. Right now I select here a template, let's say the geotechnical soil log. And right now the data gets included or loaded from the database itself. Right now we have borehole 1 into the template. So I will zoom in here. We can see here in the overview, we have our samples, we have our CPT data, some CPT data. No, I'm lying, in situ tests. We have our layer description, we have our classification test and similar, all harmonized in one log. But now, if I would select another object, right now for borehole 2, the data will also get loaded into the existing template, and the template would adjust accordingly. So you can see here we provide a bunch of predefined templates. We can also go for the CPT visualization. Right now I select the CPT classification according to Robertson. I select the CPT dataset, and the dataset will be loaded or generated on the fly. Right now, so we load the data of the CPT data. What's happening right now? We see here our color-coded CPT profile, which gives us also insights about the soil behavior. We can edit those existing templates, but we can also create templates from scratch. And therefore, I click right now here at the top, lower left bottom. We can see here like a draft or an empty page. We can include elements like text elements, which we can adjust like that, and we can enter our geotechnical log. So we have like fixed elements. However, we can also have like flexible elements. So right now I selected the object frame. I will drag and drop it on top here. Within this object frame, we can include variable elements. You can see here right now, they're right now colored. So we can select here a borehole log, which I will just drag and drop inside the template engine. I can select here a scale, which I also will just include here. And now I will also drag again an object within the object frame. The data is loaded on the fly. Here we have different kind of options, how we would like to visualize the data. So depending on the element, we have different kind of settings, which you can select and adjust the template according to your needs. So we'll just change it like that. and also include another element. But now we can also include, for example, a variable text element. I just select it here, enlarge it, so I change the font size, and I can select a macro, which would be displayed like that. So either I can select here from the drop-down or from the list here, but I can also just select here or search for the macro, click it here, and then it will appear in the template. But now we'll switch here, and you can see like everything is adjusting. You can reuse all the templates you have for your projects. I will right now discard the existing template. We can go to another feature, which would be like our map visualization. So we can create also maps where we can link the data to a map. Right now I created here query and groups. We can drag and drop those objects to the map and visualize them here. And also, again, we are using EPSG coordinates and the EPSG codes in easting and northing coordinates. Right now, select here as well the borehole again. I can select it on the map and we can visualize it here on the right-hand side with predefined templates. Of course, we can also include different kind of GIS files as shape files, KMZ files in similar. Last but not least, I would like to show you our cross-section feature. So right now I select here on all objects. I go for the cross-sections. We can drag and drop a line here from here left to the right, and we can decide which objects we would like to visualize at the cross sections. Right now I select borehole 2, I will select borehole 3, and those objects will be adjusted directly here into the template. So we'll zoom in here. I can change the scale a little bit. Then we can zoom in here further. And we can also then, of course, add as many objects as we like. If you would like to link layers, we have also like a cross-section tool, or where we can join layers. I would select just the cross-sections or the corresponding layers to each other. I will enter layer choice. Then we can create cross-sections in between. But now we see we don't have a corresponding here form, so I will just select it like that, and we can assume that's right now here a lens. So I will again enter the layer choice, and that's how we can create cross-sections and color them also according to our requirements. Regarding the export, we have also different kind of functions. I will just go here. We can also export measurement data in similar. Therefore, we'll go again back to the measurement data. I can select here Excel exports, where we can also export the files which we would like to export fast enough. Yeah, that was so far, I guess, a very brief introduction into GeoDin, and I'm happy about your questions.
Eliane, I'm going to jump in here really quick. I apologize, you all. We were having technical difficulties and I couldn't jump on in the beginning. But Daniel, thank you. Kimberly Norton here, the commercial manager for GeoDin. Really great to see some of those names that I've been talking to for quite some time. Daniel, great overview of those key features for GeoDin. And Eliane, I'll hand it back over to you. I just wanted to say hello since I could finally hop on. But what we'll do is move into our question and answer portion of the web demo.
Yes, and I think for that, please, guys, you are not on stage anymore. But if you put your question on the comments, I can bring you to the stage so that you can ask your questions live. So don't feel shy. Just join. And thank you, Danielle, so much for your explanation.
Yeah, sure, you're welcome.
For me, but I hope we are going to get some questions. Let's see. Okay, there is a little delay. We are also broadcasting live to YouTube and LinkedIn, so I'm expecting also that people there will have questions. Okay. I see a question appearing there. Is there an option to have any data stored locally versus in the cloud?
Yes, that's definitely possible because that's also like one of the requirements, or especially in Germany, data residency is quite a topic. So basically, the data belongs to the client who is asking for the site investigation. Right now, indeed, I have here a database which is stored locally on my device. However, we have also other large scale clients as Tenet, and they host all the data in the cloud. What they're doing, they create a client server database, they put it on their Azure cloud, and all the subcontractors, they're providing them their GeoDin databases so they can incorporate it all in their system. So it's possible to have it either on your local device in the network, but also on the cloud, really depending on your requirements and also your necessities regarding data residency.
Okay, we have a question from Nabas. Nabas, can I bring you to the stage? So do you mind? Invite to the studio. Maybe it's easier if you don't mind. And in the meantime, I also have a question from Albert. Can boring logs be exported to DXF file formats?
Currently they can't, but that's something we are working on to have like this DXF export, so you can also incorporate your borehole logs in AutoCAD.
Okay. Do you have any ideas when that will be done, Daniel? Do you have any kind of timelines?
That's a good question. So I know the team is working on it, and so
Okay.
yeah, but I hope definitely that it will be in this year and also not too late this year.
Okay, that's great to know. Oh, I have another question here. Let me see. I'll be showing. Maybe, can you read out the questions, Kimberly, as they appear? I will then go off stage.
Yeah, of course. So we have one here as well. It says, "Hi, please, are the data collected in situ from the site using an automated program, or has it been filled manually from the site when working?"
Yeah, so there are different kind of approaches. So right now within GeoDin, we can import the data, and so using Excel files and CSV files, and also so we can use those files. But right now we don't have a solution to collect the data in the field, so we can import it directly. So right now there's some manual data entry necessary, but you can also import it.
Great. Thank you, Daniel. And Nagum, if anything else comes up there, please reach out because we like to hear your feedback
Yeah,
on your
definitely.
requirements and what you're looking for when you think about an automated collection option. We're trying to always take feedback and where we can apply it into GeoDin. All right, so a question from Nicole. What makes GeoDin different from other geotechnical software options like Open Ground? This is a great question because there are a few other options out there. And when you think about GeoDin, and Daniel spoke to this a bit before with data residency, that is something that is different and very unique with GeoDin. That data is your data, and you decide where it resides, and it stays with you forever. So that's a really important differentiator when we think about how GeoDin compares to other solutions out there. Another one too is that we've been around a really long time, and it's almost 30 years. GeoDin has been utilized in over 15,000 projects, well over 2 million boreholes logged within GeoDin. So what comes with that is a lot of growth and development within the software itself, and also really building out some really, I think, features that are pretty robust in that sense because we've been able to utilize it so much in the field and get a lot of great feedback. Daniel, anything you would add to that I might have missed?
No, I think that's fine. I think additionally, what we have also multi-language support because in some countries it's necessary that you can also so just not report the data in English, but you can also do it in Spanish, and that's also something we can support.
Great. No, thank you.
Yeah.
That's a good addition. Navaz, okay. I was struggling on renaming the printed PDFs after printing it, which printed PDF and I have to rename it. I think if this is, Nabaz, this is when you're extracting data, it sounds like. It's done in more steps than previous. If you, Daniel, could show a short example, that would be
Yeah,
great.
sure.
Okay, so this is dealing with reporting for everyone else that hasn't used GeoDin yet. Thank you.
So right now we can select here again a layout. And you're right now, because we have like a new option, we have like the print preview where we can see it beforehand, and that includes more steps before. So right now we have the print preview, we load the report containing the data, and from here we can print it. But it's also, yeah, we definitely will consider how we can reduce the necessary steps.
Okay, okay, Nabas, please let me know in the chat if the answer is enough for you. Otherwise, we are getting back to you with more detailed answer.
Okay, Nagum, another question coming in. Hi, please, is the data collected in situ from the, I think this might be the same question, from the site used an automated program, or has it been filled manually? I think that is the same question, correct?
That's the same question, right?
Yep.
And so right now it's collected manually, and then it gets included into the software in the office.
Right. Okay, thank you, Daniel. All right. Anyone else? Any questions? Albert, okay. Can boring logs be shown with color?
Yes, they can. And so right now, if you go to our dictionaries, we have like right now we switch to our ENISO dictionaries, because also the fill patterns which we have inside, they are predefined by the standard. So for example, if you go to ASTM, Clark and Walker, select here the principal soil type, we can see here the fill patterns which are applied. However, if you go to ENISO, right now here we have also our principal soil types, and really depending on the standard, you can see here we have other fill patterns. So that's something really, if you would like to colorize a specific fill pattern, you can modify those dictionaries according to your needs. So you can select also from ASTM, for example, the principal soil type. Then you can select here like a fill pattern according to your requirements. Then it gets color coded.
Great, thank you, Daniel. And then Albert, if you have any follow-up question on that, please feel free to throw it in there. Nicole, I see that there was another question posed, but it went away. I have a lot of legacy databases. This is a good one. We get this question frequently. Can I upload my Excel files to GeoDin?
Yeah, that's possible. And so right now we have like several kind of import wizards where you can really then just navigate here, where you can import your general data, you can import your sample data, but you can also import your measurement data. Basically, you select here an Excel file which contains your data, you link your data to the existing parameters.
And Daniel, are you sharing?
Yeah.
Do you want to share your screen? You might already.
I'm sharing
Okay.
it, or?
Perfect. I think
I
there was
hope I'm
just a
sharing my
delay.
screen.
I think
All
there was
right.
just a delay. Now it's pulled up. So do you mind kind of starting that again from your first step?
Sure, let's do so. So we
Thank
go here
you.
to objects, and that's right now just a general data import. So we selected the import. The wizard is opened up. I could select here an Excel file if I would have one available, and it would read all the columns. And from here, we can then also link the data to the existing files parameters. So we have all the parameters which we have within GeoDin, and here we would have like all the parameters which are in the Excel file. We would obtain here a preview of the data sets, and once everything is correct, we can perform the import. Same applies not just for general data, but also for sample data and measurement data. So you can use like an Excel import.
Great. Thank you, Daniel. And from Sean, hi, great work opening GeoDin to more users. How extensive does GeoDin support lab test presentation reporting? Is Lab Suite or some part of it incorporated into GeoDin now?
Yes. So one moment I can show you here. So we have different kind of existing templates where we can visualize data. But we can also, if we have Arterberg limits, we can visualize it like that. But also we have like tables like or XY graphs, like the particle size distribution, implicity charts where we can visualize data. We can of course also create more templates if necessary to highlight the data sets. And again, once I will switch here to the data types, you also right now have like a couple of pre-installed data types, but we can select here from a long list of data types to contain more lab data, or where you can store more lab data.
Great. Thank you, Daniel. Sean, let us know if you have any follow-up to that. Okay. Great. Oh, Albert, another good question. What does GeoDin cost? So what I will do too after this is navigate to that part of the website. So right now for GeoDin, when you are a single user as a cost, it can vary depending on the region that you're in, but in North America annually, that's around $650 a year for the cost of GeoDin. And then depending on how things are set up, the amount of users, for example, we have a tiered pricing structure. So I'm happy to talk through that with you if you can I can reach out to you and find out how many users you're looking at. And then I'll be able to provide you a quotation so you know what that tier looks like. So it's open in the sense of individual user or more of a corporate license. And Albert, another question, are demo videos showing how to use available? Yes, so we do have some demo videos available and how to use GeoDin and navigate the different parts as well. Daniel, I don't know if you want to elaborate any on that and some of the videos
Yeah,
we have
sure.
available.
We can do. So we have like a Vimeo channel, which you can find. And there we have like some tutorial videos. And so, of course, we will also extend over the time but the demo videos, they contain like the general database creation, how to create an object, and how to create data sequences in similar. So you can have a look there inside. But we also plan to extend those tutorial videos that we have more of them.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Daniel. Okay, and then thank you for sharing that website for Albert. Okay, and anyone else? Any other questions out there? Yeah, and please do check the comment section for the tutorial link as well. Okay, just going to give another minute or two in case any other questions are coming in. Eliani, did you have any come in from another
No,
channel?
I think the comments are, at least the questions are not done now.
Okay.
I think maybe worth mentioning about the free trial that you can get on our website.
Yes, for sure. So what I will do is I'll actually take over now and just do a little
Yeah.
bit of a presentation kind of what's available on the website. So one second, I'm going to share my screen with you all now.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Yes, and Daniel, thank you. We really appreciate it. Okay, let me share my screen. Here we go. Just want to make sure, are you able to see my screen? Daniel, can you confirm that you can see GeoDin?
Yeah, I can
Great.
confirm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure. I lose visibility to you all. So I want to make sure you can see what I see. So what we have here is our GeoDin website. So when you go on the website, to Aliani's point, we want to make sure it's really easy for you to download the trial. So here you literally go to geodin.com, and on the homepage, you will find where you're able to enter your email, and straight from there, you're able to get a trial of GeoDin. That is a 30-day trial. So we really encourage you to do that. We also encourage you we'll be in touch, but to reach out to us if you want a more customized demo where we're doing one-on-one so you can really dig in and ask questions, we're happy to do that as well. But really important to get into GeoDin and get to know it. We want you to get to play with it, understand the capabilities. I think that's really very important. So that is there on the home screen. And then, of course, we have features highlighted as well. If you're really curious